Hello and welcome to another episode of Lee's Listers. So this episode's about Conrods and pistons. This is the Conrod from piston number 1, or piston number 1, so it's the piston. This is the worst piston because all the rings are stuck, even though they are a little bit more free now. I've pressure washed it off or steam cleaned it off, but this is the best rod because when you look in here, even though the locating pin is missing, it is still in the same position, so you can see right through it's getting oil. The worst one is rod number 2, so the locating pin is here when it should be here, which means it's getting no lubrication through to the top. I've tried pushing it, like turning it, it's pretty well tight in there, so I'm just going to try and twist it, and if it won't, what I have got, because I've been doing it for quite a while, is a spare rod, same part number on, L18. This come from either a 1919M type, which had been converted to petrol and was really badly frosted, or a 1917L type that was absolutely knackered. I can't remember which, but see through there, maybe can't see, but that's lined up. It's also got the returning pin. It's in good condition, is that bush, so I might just swap that out. The peg on the bottom, the same problem as this one, it's loose, but this one's been bent, so out of the two I might be able to make something. What I'm going to do at the moment, I'll park cylinder number 2, worry about that a little bit, concentrate on cylinder number 1. So this one's really good, so the bearings right way wound, one either in the bottom, 2 in the top. The dipper in the bottom's in good condition. It's been shimmed at some point, which I'll just leave them in. Let the sleeping dogs lie, as they say. And the rings, so that one's free, top one. Second one's free on one side. In fact, if I keep working it, that one moves. Number 3, bit the same situation. If I keep working it, it'll soon move. Yeah, it's going. And then number 4, oh, there we go, it's just gone. So what I'll do, I'll gently take them off. There's that one. That one's going nice. 2's a bit of a problem. Top one's all right. So I'll take them off, scrape what bits of carbon there is inside of there, give them a polish up. The top of the pistons look relatively clean, but I'll give them a scrape off. Inside the pistons are nice and clean. I'll buff them up so there's no muck on them. Clean all the oil ports out all the way around. Make sure the oil's getting both in and out, because that helps lubricate the little end. And then I'll repeat it for cylinder number 2. Right. So one of the easiest methods for getting rings on and off is with cable ties. So find where the bloody gap is. There. Let's get a tiny little screwdriver and just draw there in. I've one I like to use for this job all the time. Can't find it, that's second best. When I stop tipping the bin over, use it as a seat. Make the job a lot more comfortable. So I'll kink that out just enough. Get a cable tie drop behind it. And then what I tend to do is get them all slipped in one little area. What I've found is if you use longer cable ties, but thinner ones, it's easy to do. So then what it's a case of is just work them all the way around. equally. Leave one somewhere there. And what you can do is gently ease out the ring. Quick interruption. Thank you for watching this far, and thank you to all those who have already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe below. It would help the channel grow massively. Now back to the video. Prise that corner up. Set that bit around. I'll leave them at the thickest part of the ring because they are tapered, and gently there. Ring number one. And it's just a case of repeating this 4 times. What helps is when you get further down is that the cable ties help bridge the gaps between, there we go, previous rings. So you can use them to give them just a little pull. Pull that one up and over. Scooch that one up. Let's do. Even though these would have gone straight back in quite nicely, it's always good practice just to take them out, clean out what carbon's behind them, and then put them back in. It's just a tiny little flatbed screwdriver just for helping ease them out slightly.
Just a tiny little gap there. Just get that in. Gently ease it out. That's back under.
Usually the back looks after itself if you've got the cable tie in. 3. So what I would do if the rings were seized would be, I'd do exactly the same to get them off, but I would work the ring from one end, so where it's from here, I would try and prise it left and right, probably with a little bit wider screwdriver, then better. Then get the smaller screwdriver slightly behind and just twist ever so slightly, just to ease the ring off, and then slightly under when you get it moving a little bit, and then press and press, lots of WD around it, pull, press, pull, press, pull, press, all the way around till then that the ring would then move. Done that a few times, works quite well. But then at the same time, I have broken rings before. They made it very brittle cast iron. they do snap very easily. So this method with the 3 cable ties I've found is one of the easiest ones to do. And then for getting them on, it's just the same in reverse. You drop the ring on top, put your cable ties in, stretch it slightly, drop it, drop it, drop it. So you'll be able to see there's a fair bit of sticky old black carbon in the side of there. You'll notice I've laid them out in order. And then the bottom of here is also fairly thick in carbon, so it's a case of just a little screwdriver or a scraper. Just a case of giving it a scrape in there, getting the thickest off. It does take a long time, so it is worth doing. I'll take that ring off as well. So that's a retaining clip for the gudgeon pin. This is just spring steel. But always a pain in the ass to get off. Try this way. There we go. That's on the way. So I'll give that groove a good clean. And I'll give that a good clean as well, because it's all been sat in water. The steam cleaned it off. So that's piston fully stripped. You'll see in the bottom there's a, you might not be able to see it right in the bottom there, there's a part number, BL2484 by the looks of it. But yeah, now I'll give that a really good clean, make sure this groove's clean, that groove's clean, all them holes are cleaned out, and the grooves of the rings go clean. Right, there's no easy way or fast way to do this, but I've just got, yet again, another screwdriver. This one just fits nicely between the grooves. This is a good way of getting the thickest off. Just get a little scrape. This actually isn't too bad. The carbon in here is quite soft. When I did the K type, the carbon was a lot thicker, and it really set like concrete in the bottom of here. That was a pain to get out, was that? Where this been sat in WD for a good 2 years, getting sprayed down the bore fairly regular. It's worked its way in then. Very hard steam clean off. It also helps a lot as well. There we go, that's the thick, not the thicky stuff. Looks like there might still be. Yeah, there's a lot of mist, look. It's going on again the other way. There's a fair bit there. working hard in that bit. Top one's nearly always worst one in at the top. Pretty thick bit there. Oh, lovely is that bit. Touch half of it there. Yeah, I'll keep going. Right, quick clean up, and then what I'm going to do is going to put that, get the die grinder out, wire wheel, and I'll buzz out. I've got fair lump of the thickest there, top one. No, it's a little bit more scraping. I think with the wire wheel, it'll get a lot of it out, so I'll go to do that. So to knock off, wander out here. Dum, 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 dum. Wife's been baking. It's good to me, so I'll get that out. Apple pie for later. Lovely. Right. Back to the job in hand. Between. Bit more cleaning and polishing. So, using the wire wheel again, I've then had to revert to using a pick to get right into the corners. Because the wire wheel doesn't quite get right into the very tight 90-degree corners, so use a pick to pick mostly in the corners, and then polish it back up again with a wire wheel once it's all nice and loose, and yeah, makes a cracking job. Right, now finishing my noisy jobs. It's a case of poking out the things now. So what I do, keep a little bit of copper wire in hand, nip at the pair of pliers, get a bit more force. You can sort of pick and poke with this. It is a little bit of a pain it being copper because it's soft. If you work it gently, you can generally poke your way through. So that's the holes. I don't know how much you'll see, but generally come right through into in here. How much you'll be able to see in there. So there's one. That one's blocked. That one's blocked. That one's blocked. Oh, that one's free. Drilled all the way around. Ah, that one's just gone, but it was blocked. And that's the one I've just done. So it's a case of going around all these now. A little bit longer bit for hold it behind. And scraping carbon out of them all. So they're clear. And then once they're clear, case of polishing the piston rings and dropping it back together. Nice and easy as that. Right, what I did there was just got a little 2 mil drill bit after I'd poked them out and freed them up and just scrubbed out the holes. So that piston is now ready for rings putting back on, but these are grim, so exactly the same again. Scrape the carbon off the back. I'll give them a clean up with might be a bit of wire wool because it's a bit more gentle, and some brake cleaner, and then start building it back up. Good as that. Right, now that's that ring done. Cleaned up nice. Can't really see a lot of difference on the outside, but the inside certainly can. This one has had nothing done to it, so that one's polished up really nice. I'll put it to one side. 3 more to do, and that's this piston done. Right, there's all the rings done. You didn't need to watch me doing another 2. So piston and ring. Try and get this on film of how I do it. So cable tied down each side. I'll apologise in advance for having my arm quite a lot in the shot. It's just after it's going to be. So tilt up slightly so you can see a bit better. Resting on the top, stacked them back in the same order. Display it slightly. I bloody dropped a wrap tie, so I got my glove stuck as well. There we go. Let's get the other cable tie off the floor. Ooh. Bloody hell. Don't get a screwdriver. Found the one I like to use. Right, it's better. And then it's just a case of pulling it down over all the gaps gently. There's one gap. Ease it over that one. That's 2. Straight into the 3rd. And then it's just a case of gently easing it, pulling them out. 1, 2, 3. Easy as that. There's one in. So rest it on top. 1 cable tie. 2 cable ties. and 3. Go with the back, then the front. Because the front, obviously. There we go. So it's a bit of pressure on just going over the first one. So you'll notice there it's dropped in. That's why I just need the screwdriver just to ease it ever so slightly. There we go. It's over. That was real nice. Most awkward bit, getting the bloody cable ties spaced evenly and without dropping them on the floor. Just like that. Oh, you beggar. Oh, yeah. Might just manage this one without. Nope. As it just drops into the top groove. There we go. Did manage it without. 2. It's just a lot more worrying when do it without. Try it this way. This will work better. God, they bloody worry me. There we go. We're on. Better. We're in. Let's ease that one out. Go that way. That one's out there. And that is all 4 piston rings. Nice and free. Still plenty of spring left in all 4 of them. And then what I'll do, if I put it in, I'll shuffle all the rings round so the joins are all in different places. Because I've had it before, they've been quite badly worn. What happens is they'll line up like this and then all the compression runs through that gap. Where if they're spaced round the piston like that, they don't line up and you don't get the compression leaking between each ring. That bit of polish. Slip back in there nice, like that. Then I'll put the clip on. It's in a bit I ain't cleaned up yet. I'll slide that on from the bottom, sit it around there, and then when I put the Conrod on the engine, it's nice and handy to just slip on. Probably won't film the next one because it's exactly the same as this. So yeah, there's 2 pistons on this, 2 Conrods. So I'll drop this one in. Oh, after I clean that. Right, because this bush is in the wrong place, I've just rigged up this. I'll just get a tweak. So this is piston number 2, by the way. So a couple of sockets, pushing the bush out one into the other. I don't know if I have enough length on either part. I think I've still got enough depth. No, not really. Bagger. A smaller socket to drop in. 27 fits in nice. Just finding something for it to slide over. As far as we can. I think that's it. Let's try it like this. I hate doing it like this where it's not supported on one end. Oops. Try and push it all a bit jaunty. It's not ideal by any means. It's not going as smooth as what it was. Try this, that's better. It's just the fact that the Conrods is touching the vise. It's out. Right, I'll clean that up. I've got the bush, where the cameras there, and that is that one. Yep. It's either full of muck. Yep. Full of muck. So what I'll do, I will clean that out, and I've quite a sneaky suspicion that that is the same thread as the governor linkage. So I have a spare bit. I might just screw in there. I do have the other Conrod, but the Conrod off the other piston, it's missing as well. So I'll clean that up. Then that way the oil's going to make sure we get that lined up. Get that lined up the right way. Get it for the peg. I'm going to put it all back together so the little peg goes into the notch. It then won't rotate. So I'll do that. I'll have a little scrap about, see what I've got. Right. So what did I tell you? Bit of governor holds the spring on, and look at that. Screw straight in. I think with that because I've come across it somewhere else before for something. I can't remember what the hell it was. But I used, this was a bit of a gnarly one. I had spare. So yeah, it screws in nice. Straight in there. So what I'll do, I'll screw that in, double Loctite, make sure it don't come out. I'll make sure it's flush as well on the inside because it's just poking proud a little bit there. Yeah, I'll chop it off to the right length, and that'll make sure it doesn't rotate. And I'll rob the other one out the other Conrod. Right, ready for put together. So get a bit of a clean. I should be able to get that in without a socket to the right to the very end. I've left that long because just if I get it wrong, it's going to be easy to see. So I'm going to try and do it as near as the end of the vise as I can. And I can just keep an eye on it, making sure it's square. Let's flush up that side. So I'm rounding my socket. Champion. So slightly more one side than the other. That's good, that. Looks right to me. So I'll sneak that off now. Bit for another day then. And yeah, then that's Conrod 2. That was the headache I was worrying about. Let's give them edge a bit of chamfer as well, just in case they didn't. It took a bit of a brain with it pushing it in. But yeah, I'll sneak that off and we're ready for fastening it on. It for another day. Brilliant. Got a jagged edge, touch it with a file. Just when the next person comes along in a long time. Don't know the sensitive little fingers. Brilliant. That was a little bit of a worry, was that? Yeah, I'm glad it's done. So piston time now. I'll probably skip this bit and straight to the assembly. So I've got the bearing cap here. And it's held in the vise. But the oiler in the bottom moves. So the plan is jam it in the vise in the up position, just ever so slightly. It's enough that it's got hold, but it's not going to crush the pipe. Right about there. And then it's a special tool I made quite a while ago. And I've got a ball bearing soldered on the end of a punch. And put that in there. Give it a little tap. Just try and flare it out a little bit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oops. Squeeze it a little bit tighter in the vise. Ah, oh, ball bearings come off. Right, so that's not worked. So I'm going to have to look at probably look at a bit of solder around the bottom here. Braze it on. I mean, what I have done before is put some bloody hell Gorilla Glue, some like I might do that. It's usually a better idea. Some epoxy This stuff's great. Use it quite a few times. Relatively cheap. Coming up with something to stir it on. A bit of copper wire from earlier. Looks brilliant. Stirring. Don't need a lot. Come on. Guys, that's bloody difficult to squeeze. There we go. Bloody hell, it's ample. I'll stir. I could solder it. I know exactly what happened. It's just in a bloody nightmare. Like this, I can put a bit on. And work it into the we'll work it up and down and get it to work into the joint a bit better. Be careful. Put a bit on the inside as well. Start blocking it up. Let's write that off of the rag. There's hardly anything in that inside. Most of it's on the outside, you see, and on my fingers. Right, I'll leave that like that now. Works really, really well as this stuff. What I'll do, I'll leave it hanging in the vise so that the weight of the bearing cap is just pulling it down like that. It'll hold it in place. So hopefully that'll work quite nicely. I've done soldering before and it's a right nightmare. I'll show you this rod over here. That's usually what they end up like. Well, not bent obviously, but piles and piles of solder trying to hold it in place, because they usually just nipped in from like I tried originally. So that's from experience what they end up like. Well, to me, that's just a modern alternative to do exactly the same job. So I'll let that set and I'll get put in. Right, so there's piston 1, there's piston 2 and the bearing, and the block is all prepped for it to go in. So next job is putting them in. And same as before, I won't film this bit because I've got to get inside, put the split pins on, and it's more important that I can see than you can see, but you better see me building it all up. Right, we're in. The 2 Conrods. Yeah, it's literally a bit of balance that's holding them, the suction of oil. There we go. So they're in. As you can see, got them pinned, both sides. Should have maybe thought about just filing a bit off there, because a little bit loose is that bearing, but I think it'd be alright. So yeah, the centre's in. I put a little guard on for the gear as well the other day. There's the underside of the cam followers under there. Turn that, get a bit more view of that side. The timing gear is tucked in there. Get the camera to focus. That's the timing gear, so I've got it all timed up as well. So next job is the cylinder heads. So they're still sat down here. Plan with them, whip the valves out, clean the bars up, clean the valves. Yeah, and then drop them on. So hopefully it won't take much of a job. Probably leave that here for this episode. Well, thanks for watching. Say don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. It really does help the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. That's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. See you later. Tarra. Right, next job, pistons. So now we're all cleaned up. Knew that beggar was going to be like that. There's one. Should just put a splash of oil on it. It's just a bit tight. Right, just in fact, I am going to put some oil on, so I'll take that off. Just found the right drift. I think it's that one. No, it's too big. No, that one's right for a fact. better. The other one. Just a little bit of a finger trapping job. And do it like this. It's nice and slack. Good. Some both held secure. Right, scrap what I said a bit on the last one because I forgot to put these on. So that's now it for this episode. Pistons are on. I'll lube all these up before I put the heads on. The heads are next. Right, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Tarra.